Now to draw this, this is just a rough sketch. We first of all need to draw the rectangle. We need to draw the rectangle. Now you can see from the question given to us that we have a major axis and a minor what axis, and we also asked to show our workings clearly. That's it. So our what's it called? Our constructions clearly. Okay. So the major axis there is simply the length of the rectangle. Okay. Now be using this rectangular method. The major axis is simply the length of the what? The is simply the length of the rectangle, while the minor axis is to the what? Is the height. Okay, you can see the height here. Okay, is the minor axis. All right. So from the question given to us, to start, we need to draw the rectangle first before we start any other thing. Okay, so let's draw the rectangle. Now we're given that the major axis is what? Is 125 millimeters. So let's just write those parameters that were given in the questions as the major axis, the major axis to be 125 millimeter, and the minor axis, the minor, and the minor axis to be 70 millimeter. Okay, now so let's draw that. Let's draw that. Let's start with an horizontal line. Let's start with an horizontal line. So from this horizontal line, the major axis has a measurement of what? A length of 125 millimeters. So let's measure 125. Now, one thing is that is in millimeters, and our rulers are calibrated in centimeters. So when you convert this 125 millimeters to centimeters, you always divide by 10. And so if you divide this by 10, that will give you 12.5. So look at 12.5 here. This is 12. Let's start from here. This is 0. This is 12 and this is 13. So the middle is 12.5. Let's try to pick it. 12.5. Now you see, let's join them together. Now, from this point, I will need to draw a line, a vertical line upward. And from this point too, I will need to draw another vertical line upward. Okay, so we have to be very careful while doing this so that to avoid any unnecessary mistake or error in the. Now I will need to position my ruler very well. You need to position the ruler very well. So put it here like this. Put it here. Now you draw a straight vertical line. Let your ruler remain the same. Take it to the other side. Your ruler must remain where it is. Draw the other line. All right. See, from this line, we have measured the major axis to be 125 millimeters, as you can see. Yes. So we need to measure the minor axis, which is the height. So we need to measure the height to be 70 millimeters. So let's measure 70 millimeters. Now you can see this is the 70 millimeters from here. You can see it. And here too, let's measure it. Now, if you check this line, you will notice that this line does not reach 70 millimeters. So we need to extend the line. We need to extend it to this point. Okay. Now, let's join them together. Let's join them together. All right. This is our rectangle. If you check this will be automatically 12. You can see it's automatically what? 12.5 centimeter, that is 125 millimeters, which is what? Correct. Now this is the rectangle. Our ellipse must form within the rectangle, inside the rectangle. It must be inside the what? The rectangle. Now I will need to divide this rectangle into four parts. What I mean by dividing into four parts is, when I divide this one into two and I divide this into two, it will be what? Four parts. Four parts. Okay. Now you already know the measurements from ear to ear to be what? To be 70. So the half of 70 will be what? 35. It will be 35. So this is 30 and this is 40. So this will be 35. Put it there. So let's do the same thing the other side. This will make, I can use another method to draw this, but this will be more accurate. So let's join them together with a straight line. Okay, now I've divided this line into two. So I will need to divide this line into two. I will need to divide it into two. Now you already know that this is 125 millimeters. So when you divide 125 millimeters into two, that will be 125 divided by 2. So 2 goes in 12 will be what? 6. Now we are left with 5. 2 goes in 5, that will be what? 2.5. You are left, so this will be 62.5. So let's measure 62.5 millimeters. Now you know that 62.5 millimeters. Now you know that 60 millimeter is same thing as 6 centimeter, right? So the next one is 61, 62. But after 62 is 63. So 62.5 will be in between the space here. The space here. Okay. Let's do it in the other side too. Sixty millimeter is here. The next one is 61, 62, followed by 63. But in between here, the space there, the space that is in between 2 and 3 is that 0.5 there. So that will be 62.5. Now I've gotten the midpoints. We can then join them together. Can then join them together. Okay, now you have successfully divided the rectangle into 4 points. Now what we have to do next is that um you can see we have divided it. Then what we have to do, I'm going to divide this line into an even number. When you talk about even number, there are numbers that can be divisible by 2, such as 6. I can divide it into 6. I can divide it into what? Into 10 or 12. So, but in this class, I'll be using 8. So I will divide this line into 8 equal parts. And likewise, this too, I will need to divide the same way I will divide this into 8. I will also divide this one into 8. This one represents the what? The major axis is still having the same dimension as the major axis here. Okay. I will divide the major axis, but I will be specific to the middle one. I will divide it into 8. When I divide this into 8, I will also divide the minor axis into 8 at the same time. But suppose I divide this into 10, I will divide this into what? Into 10. Okay. Take note of that. I will first of all start from here. Let's start from here first. Let's divide this into 8. So just draw a line like this. You can draw it to any length you want. To any length. Now, what we have to do here is that I'll pick my compass. Now, from my compass, I can decide to measure, I can decide to make it bigger, or like this, or like this. But the thing is that if I start dividing this by 8, by 8, by 8, by 8, by 8, it may not contain it. Okay, so I will just try to reduce it little. So I noticed that while I was trying to explain this part, it was not captured, but that is not a problem. I will explain it for you guys. All right. So as I've said, or probably let me erase it and start again and start with this again. Let me just erase it and explain again. Okay. Now let me erase this line. So I said something that we are to divide this line, this middle line here, that is the major axis, and this line, which is the minor axis. We are to divide them into what, 8 8. We are following even number. Okay, so we are dividing this into 8, and we are dividing this into 8. I said if you are to divide this, you can pick your ruler, draw any line. I draw this line before, right? I may decide not to follow that line. I may decide to draw another line like this, for you to know that irrespective of the way you draw the line, it will still be accurate. It's not that I can't follow the one I did, but I just want you to know that even if you follow it or not, it will still be what, accurate. Now I want to divide this line. Since I'm dividing what I want to divide majorly is this line from here to here. I want to divide, but I want to use this line to divide it. Okay, so I will divide this line that I draw here. I will divide it into 8. Now my compass, let me close it. Let me close it so you can see clearly. Now this is it. I've closed it. So I will decide to extend this compass. I must not extend it too much, because if I extend it too much, I want to divide this line into 8. If I start following the way I extended it now, it may not, if I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it may not even be enough. So I will just try to adjust it in a way that it will be able to contain it. Even though, let me tell you that if you do it like this, it may still be correct, but let's try to adjust it so that it will be within this line. So I will just try to close it a little. So I think like this should be okay. Should be okay. Like this should be okay. Okay. Like this should be okay. Okay. So let's just try to divide the line into 8. So the first one is this. Now you can see the first one here. This is the first one. So the second one will be this. The third one will be what? It will be this. The fourth one will be this. This is the fifth one. This is the sixth one. This is the seventh one. Why this is the what? Eight. Eight. Okay. Now I think it's up to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now, even though if you follow that one, take note, it will still be correct. But because when I was explaining it, it was not captured. That is why I just decided to do it again. And I decided to draw the line in another form so that you can know that even though if I decide to draw the line like this, it will still be correct. Okay. So now I want to join, I'm dividing this line by 8. So I will join this endpoint, which is 8, to this endpoint here. So let's do that. That is where we are starting from. So if I join it like this, I've already joined it. All right. Let my ruler remain, let this set square remain the same as it is. Let it remain the same. This is how to do it accurately. Please place your ruler, place it beside it perfectly like this. Okay, can you see what is going on? Perfectly. Then try to push your set square now. Now, since you have done with the first one, we want to do the second one, third one, fifth one, sixth, seventh, eighth. What? If you have done with this, so let's continue with this next one, followed by this. Let's continue like that. Okay, position it very well. You see the way I position it. Use it again, very tight and close. Then push this one further to the next one here, to the next one. Be very careful. Now you see that it has gotten to that point now. So leave it there. Hold it. You see? Do you see what is going on? Now come back again. Still make it very tight. This one must not shake. Oh. Like it must be wet tight. Like it must not just move anyhow. Then shift it to the next one. You can see that it has passed it. Just be very careful with it. Okay. Then you see that we are there now. So put it there. Draw another one. Okay. Can you see what is going on? All right. All right. All right. So let's shift it to the next one. Now you see that we have gotten to the next one. So let's draw it. Okay. Now let's shift to the next one. Let's shift it to the next one. This next one must fall at the middle. You can see it must fall at the middle. Please be very careful. It must be at the middle. Okay. So let's shift it to the next one. Okay. Okay, to the next one. Okay, to the next one. Okay, let's do this. Okay, to the next one. Please be very careful. Can see. All right. Okay, now we have successfully divided this one into what, 8 equal parts. Now, since I've divided this, sorry, I need to do something. Since I divided this into half earlier, let me take this place to be, let me take it to be 0, and let me take this place to be 0. Okay, let me take that to be what, to be 0. Okay, now I will need to divide this one too. I will need to divide this one. I will need to divide it into 8. So put your ruler, show your ruler, take it. So let's just draw the same line we did here. Let's just draw another line here and divide it. All right. So let's make, I can still extend it little or decide I can use it as it is. So, okay. So let's use it like this. I think this will be okay. I can still decide to extend it. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. That is the first one. That is the second one. That is the fourth one. That is the fifth one. That is first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Okay. That is fifth, sixth. That is the seventh one. Now this is the last one, which is 8. You can see, even though if it reach here, depends. We are still going to get the same thing. Well, the next thing you just do is one, the endpoint here, trace it to this endpoint too. Okay, because this is the line we are divided, just as the same way we did here. Okay, now let's do that. Now, why do that? Let's use this set square. Let's use our set square. Now put it there. Please be very careful. Okay. Now draw that line. That line. Can you see? All right. Leave it as it is. Leave it. Now position this one beside it. Can you see what is going on? Then take it to the next one. Push it forward. Okay. We are there. Let's draw it. Okay. This is it. Can you see it? All right. That is it. Okay. So as it is, take it to the next one. Okay, that is the next one. Then draw another straight line. Can you see what is going on? Good. All right, you notice that this place couldn't contain it anymore. So, and I don't want to take this thing away. So I will come here. Can you see what is going on? Can you see what is going on? I want to push this one a little bit back. I want to push it back here. Okay. Now I've done that. All right, put it here back. So take it to the next one. Okay. Now draw a line. Okay. Now to the fourth one. You see that fourth one matches with exactly that point. The midpoint, it must be the midpoint because it's the middle one. Can you see what's going on? Perfectly. Can you see? All right. Okay, take it to the next one. Okay, so let's draw it. Let's draw it. Let's rule that line. Okay, take the line. Okay, now take it to the next one. Okay, then rule it. Take it. Okay, take it to the next one, and that should be the last one. That is the last one. Then rule it. Okay, now we have done. Now, one of the advantages of this, one of the advantages of this is that, there are times, suppose that I give you a let's assume the length here is happens to be, let's say, 79. 79. So when you try to divide 79 by 8, and you want to divide, this measurement is 79 millimeter, for example, and you want to divide it by 8. So that would be 79 divided by 8. It will give you something like points, something like that, which will be more stressful. So that is why this approach is always the what? The best. Okay. Now we have successfully divided this line into it, divided this line what? Into it. Now this is origin 0, 0. So at this origin, I will move here 1, 2, 3. I will move down 1, 2, 3. I will come to this point 1, 2, 3. Now at this origin, I will go up 1, 2, 3, come down 1, 2, 3, come here 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's do that. When here is 0, this will be what? 1. Take it to be 1. Here will be what? 2. Here will be what? 3. You can write here as 4, or you can leave it. So here will be what? 1, 2, 3. Here you can write it as 4, or you leave it. Then coming here, this is still origin. So here 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 at the same time. So 1, 2. This is the point. That is the point. 3. You can write it as 4. Leave it. You can write it as 4. Okay. Now this is origin. Now I will also need to divide this one line and this line. Let's try to divide this part. I don't need much stress. I will just try to position my ruler, take my ruler here, and my compass. Sorry, I will just take my compass. I'll put it here. I can just measure anyone here. Since this line, since this line and this line are the same thing, so I will just put it here. I'll just put it here. You can see this is automatically the same thing. Okay, you can see. Okay, so I don't need to do that. So let's jump to the next one. Okay, okay, all right. So I've successfully divided this one into 3. So since here is 0, so I will take it to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I write it as well or leave it. Okay. Now, so this place too, come here like this will be what? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we are done with that. All right, all right. You see this line, I can erase it, or I can make it thin little, or you can decide to leave it. We just use them to divide what? The line, this line and this line. So that is not our major. It does not have any other thing. We don't need it again. Okay, we don't need it again. All right. So I'm going to make it very easy for you guys. Very, very simple. I will not confuse you at all. Very simple. I will draw it. All right. So from this point, this is what is going to happen. From this point and this point, something is going to happen. From here, I will draw 3 lines. One will come here, one will come here, one will come here. And another 3 line, one will come here, one will come here, one will come here. Okay. So here too, one will come to this 3, one will come to this 2, one will come to this one, and the other side, one will come to this one will come to this 2, one will come to this 3. But that is not the end. That is not the end. So let's do that first. So I'm just showing you these steps to make the work very, to make it very, very what? Very simple. So you guys, you don't get confused. Very simple. I'm going to make it very simple for you guys. Okay. Now that this is the point we are following. Okay. So that is for that. So let me draw this one too. and this part, you can see. Okay, I'm done with this. So let's come here and do this part. Join it to this one. Okay, okay, okay. So come here, do the other side. Okay, that's good. Okay. Now, is that all? No, but we are getting close to the final drawing. Okay. Okay. Now, next thing to do is I will then, I draw this line passing through this three. So I will also do to this one too. So I will draw this one will pass through this one, and then will pass through this two, and then will pass through this three. I will come here and one will pass through this. I don't need to draw this one that will pass through for it's already a straight, there's already a straight line for that. Okay. So there's already a straight line for that. Let me make this one clear. So I don't need to do that. So the same thing, the way I will do that will pass through these three, I will also do it here too. I'll draw one that will pass through this one, pass through this two, pass through this three. From here, pass through this, pass through this, pass through this. Okay. So that is the last thing to do, and then we draw out our ellipse. Okay. Now to do that, you see, please take note of this thing. The first one will pass through this one. This is the point one. This is point two, point three. So this one will pass through this one that is there. When it pass through this one, mind you that this is line one here. So whenever it touches line one, I will make it as a point. When I draw it, if whenever it passes through this point two, whenever it touches line two here, I will put a dot there. I will do the third one. Whenever it passes through, it will pass through this three here. So whenever it touches line three here, I'll put a dot there. So let's do it. Okay, you see where it touches line one now. Put it as a dot there. That is where our ellipse will pass through. Okay, now that is for line one. Let's go to line two. Let's go to two. Don't forget that this line two here. This is where it touches line two. Put a dot there. Okay, put a dot there. You can see this line two. So I will do the line three. For the line three, this is line three. This is where it touches line three. Put a dot there. Okay, you can see the three dots. One, two, three. That is where our ellipse will pass through. Okay. All right. So come here again. Do it here. Let's do it here. This is where it touches line one. Put a dot there. So let's jump to line two. This is line two. Put a dot there. Okay. So let's jump to line three. Let's jump to line three. Okay. You can see that. That is where our ellipse will pass through. It will pass through like this. Can you see it? So let's do it for the other side too. Let's do it. We did it upward like this. So let's come down. So from this point, I will draw it. It will also pass through line one, line two, line three, line one, line two, line three here. So let's do that. And wherever it touches line one here, this is line one. Wherever it touches it, put a point there. Wherever it touches line one, put a point. This is the line that it will pass through. It will pass through this. And wherever it touches line one, don't forget to put a point. This is where it touches line one. You can see, put the point there. Okay, so let's put it here. Wherever it passes through line two, this is line two. Put a point there. Okay, so wherever it passes through line three, line 3. This is line 3. See where it touches line 3. Okay, this is where our ellipse we pass through like this. Okay, so let's do for this other side. Okay, I can decide to start from 3 here, then start going like that. This is it is passing through line 3 here. It is passing through 3. So wherever it touches line 3, this is line 3. You see, this is line 3. So pick a point there. Put a point there. Okay, so wherever it passes through line 2 now, this condition, this is line 2. Put a point there. Okay, so this is line 1. So wherever it passes through line 1, you can see. All right, all right, all right. So these are the points that we need. This point from here like this to go like this, come like this. That is our ellipse. Okay, we'll be doing that using our French curve. Using this. This is called French curve. Using our curve. Okay. All right. So we'll be drawing that using this. So let's do that. Let's do that. All right. So let's try to do that. Let's try to do that. Okay. So let's do for the other side too. So let's try to draw this. Okay. All right. So let's do that. Please. All right. So let's draw the other side. Okay. Okay. So we have to adjust this. All right. Let's continue. Okay. Okay. So let's continue. So okay. All right. Let me adjust this. All right, all right, all right, all right. So now we are done with the ellipse. Okay, you can just try to dimension that. Okay, from here to here. You can just try to dimension that. Okay, here to here is what? What was the measurement given? That was one. That is the major axis, and that is 125 millimeter. Okay, and here to here, the other side. So you can also draw this one. You can say, okay, you can also write to be 70 millimeter. All right. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share with your friends. All right, thank you. Don't